Hello there. Let's talk about our sketchbook assignments for this week. I understand that a lot of you think that this was a really difficult assignment. I have to say that I agree for the most part, but I want to show you some tricks that you can remember in the future. So here's our example from the video of what our 1-point perspective was to look like. And one thing I want you to notice is that all of the vertical lines are parallel, which means they're all just straight up and down, perfectly straight up and down. And then all of our horizontals are perfectly straight across, and then they're all parallel as well. So really all you have to worry about when you're adding the lines of perspective is the lines that go into space, you know, those lines that go back to the vanishing point. And then your top and bottom, even on the back side and on the back side on the bottom of this cube are all going to match. So the front matches the back. We have a square and then another square, and then, you know, like I said, these lines of perspective or lines of depth, how deep it goes into space, are really the only ones that are difficult to figure out. And it is really kind of hard when to me it always is weird when the line is perfectly going straight up and then you don't see the side at all. You know, so I always try to move things over a little bit, but here's an example of what happens when you don't move it over at all. So I think everybody did okay with 1-point perspective. 2-point gets a little more challenging. So again, our vertical lines are straight up and down, but that's pretty much where it ends, right? So our vertical lines straight up and down, and then the other two lines that we have to worry about, both sides are going into the distance now. One is going toward one point, the other going toward the other point. So the 2 points, basically all of our diagonals, right, are the ones that are difficult. But if you can remember that the verticals are always going to match, and I mean, especially above the horizon line, it looks crazy weird, doesn't it? It really does. I mean, there's such an angle to it. Down here it looks okay. And here, kind of weird because you don't see the top of the box or the cube. So I can see how those of you that don't have any experience with 2-point perspective or perspective at all, that this assignment would be way more difficult. You know, not knowing those things. Okay, and then, boy, oh boy, when he got into this, wasn't that crazy? But it's, you know, he was really taking us into drawing everything and anything and how it can be done. How a square can be our guide to drawing a perfect circle. How great is that? And also, you know, we can use that same method to measure ovals, right? So that's pretty cool. Or draw ovals, I mean. And I thought this was kind of fabulous, you know, showing how the median can be drawn, right? The halfway point of a sphere. And, you know, how I've talked about how the top of the cylinder and the bottom of the cylinder should match, you know, the curves should match. And it's cool seeing, you know, how you can draw that inside of this is actually a rectangular prism. Yeah, so very cool. And then when he started drawing this, weren't you just like... So I did want to see that you experimented with drawing, well, I guess it's this drawing here, with drawing the shape of the wheels, which is this drawing right here. Okay. And then we had the other video, I think his name was Tao, I want to say. Could be wrong. but he was showing us how to do a quick sketch perspectively. So it kind of shows dimension to it, but it's certainly not perfectly drawn, which is kind of fun. And I got really excited when he showed his watercolor drawings or watercolor paintings, you know, what he does with the drawing in his sketchbook. I think that's just beautiful. And it's super simple. It's like, you know, it's like the color brings it to life. And the different shading in the tree, you know, how we did that last week. Very cool. We did not have to draw this assignment, however. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our sketchbook assignment. Here we go. Okay, so here's Abby. And Abby, I'm pretty impressed with you not coming into this course with, you know, these basic drawing skills, which, you know, artists consider basic, but as a beginning drawer, you know, a beginning artist in drawing, it's kind of difficult, isn't it? And knowing that those vertical lines should all match and the horizontal lines should all match, you know, be the same. So like even if you were measuring a corner, it's going to be a 90-degree angle. So figuring that out with your ruler, you know, makes things look very neat. So I think that would have helped you. But like I said again, I'm impressed that you did this without a ruler. So that really shows to me your understanding of the assignment of 1-point perspective. So you did a great job there. 2-point, I can tell that you struggled with. And I think, again, knowing that the vertical lines are all straight up and down and that they all match would have definitely helped you to create, like here would be your center line of a cube. And then, you know, one side here, and all of those lines would match. So I think that would have helped you a great deal. This line would have ended, you know, in the same place that your top line would have ended. So I would be thrilled to help anyone with this, with these drawing assignments, and I'm available. You guys just set up an appointment with me. I would be thrilled to help. I just feel like nobody's really asking for my help, and you know, geez, that's what I do. That's why I love being a teacher. So I hope that more of you will do that. And then here is your cube where you're drawing a circle inside. Again, no rulers. You know, I always love to see the look of a line without a ruler. You know, how would you draw this if you didn't have a ruler? And I think it has so much personality. I mean, you know, I know you're going to laugh at that, but it's true. I love a good line personality. When it's done with a ruler, you know, it becomes kind of clinical and, I don't know, too perfect, I guess. But again here, knowing that these verticals would have all matched and the horizontals all match, that would have helped you a great deal. So I guess I don't think he even mentioned that in the video, and so I think it was a little advanced for our first time. Oops. I must have double clicked. Okay, and then here is your cylinder and your cone and your sphere that's divided. Sweet. I think that's excellent. Okay, and then here's Chloe's 1-point perspective. And she used a ruler, and hers looks very perfect. She is aware about, you know, the parallel line situation, you know, straight across, everything matches. So she's got some experience, and that really shows. Okay, and here's Donovan. Now, Donovan, I think your drawing here is really good. I really like it. I think that, you know, this could have turned into a little really beautiful sketch for you, just based on what our artist was drawing. However, we didn't have to draw this. So I think we're going to be talking about that really soon. You and I are going to work together. And I mean, here I see what I believe is your 2-point perspective, but I don't see your horizon line, so there's parts of this drawing missing. And I do want you to work on laying your drawings flat and then photographing them, you know, from above. Try not to get the shadows in, but then you won't have like the lines of the paper bending and, you know, your hand in the photo, which, you know, just beginning, and I'm sure fine with that. I totally get it. I totally get it, because, you know, oh, if I ever told you, but boy, when I first started online work, I think I cried every day. It was so hard to figure all that out. Of course, that was in the 90s, and now I've got experience. And then this one, I believe, is the same drawing as this one. Yep. Okay, so Donovan and I are going to work on that together. Now here is Haley's 1 point, and I think it looks, you know, very, very perfect. This one, you know, maybe some of your lines are kind of angling out a little bit. And then also this one, no, actually that one's perfect too. So very, very, very good. And I can tell that you have either experience or your powers of perception worked for you to figure out, you know, those verticals and horizontals. And then, and you used a ruler, so smart. And then here is this is Haley's 2-point perspective. So I think there might have been a little bit of confusion up here. This one looks great. Maybe this top angle is here, but I can see how that video would have been confusing. So we might have just wanted to end it, you know, at this top here. Yeah, that's what I think. So here's your top and bottom. Here's your top and bottom of your cube. And then, you know, you've got basically very straight verticals, even back here. And then the top actually also goes to the same, you know, it goes to the same points. So this one, you know, should go right to that same point. So it's just a little very minor touches there in this drawing, and I think for our purposes you did great. And very nice. I see you did all of your 3D shapes, 3D forms, and they all look good. Here we just need to work on the bottom matching the top, unless we're doing those lines of perspective in which our diagonals would go to the vanishing point. Hope that makes sense. It's a lot to take in. And here with your cubes, I think you were doing a great job repeating your size and your shape and finding the center and all of that. Your verticals, you know, just need to match, and it's just something that you learn as you go. Can't learn everything in a week. You just can't. And then here I see, oh, you made your cone and your sphere and your cylinder inside the cube or rectangular prism. You did it all, Haley. I love how you share everything that you accomplish. I double clicked again. So this is Ivy's 1 point and 2 point, I believe. Yes. Okay, so your 2 point looks great. Your 1 point, I probably would have done a few more just to show that you've mastered this. And yeah, just remember this one should have aligned as well. So all of your points align. This one's just a little bit off, but that's okay. Very good. And then here's Ivy's wheels. Yeah, it was a whole lot of lines to look at, and he was so fast. But I see your sphere, I see your cone, I see your cylinder. This is your minor axis. That was really advanced. And here are your wheels. So just keep in mind that your verticals should always match. Okay, and there, where are we? We're on, this is Remy's 1 point. Very skilled, Remy. This looks absolutely perfect, and it shows your experience. So I can tell that you know what you're doing here. And then Remy's 2 point. Also excellent. Yep, I can't find zero fault with this, so perfect. And here's Remy's wheels. He did a nice job with parallel for the verticals. Good job. And your sphere, your cone, your cylinder. So I can see that you understand, how to make the wheels. So that was that third sketchbook. And that's it for sketchbook. All right, everybody. Sorry, it's always a little long, but there's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things that, we might not cover again, so I'm just trying to be as helpful as possible. And again, we'll have a very short quiz on this material, and it's just my way of keeping our conversation going and trying to help the best I can.